What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Working on the Miata today, and in the never-ending pursuit for a cleaner engine bay, today we're going to be installing this new clutch line from Chase Bays. This is a one-piece line that's going to eliminate the hard lines that go in between the slave cylinder and the clutch master cylinder. So usually there's a hard line that goes from the master cylinder, and then there's a little soft line in between another hard line that connects to the slave cylinder. And that soft line is usually where people go in and replace it with a stainless braided line. But this is a one-piece stainless braided coated line that's going to go all the way from the slave cylinder to the clutch master cylinder. One line, eliminate those hard lines and the soft line in between. So should look nice, perform well, and clean up the bay a little bit. So I've got the car up, and whenever you're working on the slave cylinder down here, you're going to want to remove your passenger front tires. It's going to make it a lot easier to access the slave cylinder. So I've got that, and then up here in the bay I'm probably going to put some rags down to protect the paint, and I might try and suck out all the fluid that is in the reservoir just so we spill as little as possible. But should be pretty straightforward. Just going to try and remove the old lines first, and then we'll get this new line put on. Alright, got the whole old clutch line out. Getting it all out in one piece was a little bit tricky. I ended up having to disconnect the alternator and starter wires as they were kind of routed over top of that line, so the only way to get it out was to disconnect those completely. But now that everything's out, this is pretty simple. We're just going to thread the 90-degree fitting into the master cylinder, and then we're going to route it down along the back bottom corner of the firewall, back behind the engine, and then down to the slave cylinder. Alright, so that pretty much does it for this install. It looks pretty nice, cleaned up a lot of space, especially with those brackets and stuff that connect to the transmission. Those are always a pain, especially if you've ever done a clutch job or a slave cylinder job. You know how much of a pain those can be. So we also got it all bled. I cleaned out the reservoir. There was some black junk in the bottom there. We got nice, clean, fresh fluid in there, so the reservoir is looking really good. I've bled this once before when I did the slave cylinder, and there was still some dark looking fluid in there even after bleeding, but now we have nice clean fluid in the reservoir and throughout the whole system, so pretty happy about that. The pedal feels really good, it feels nice and responsive, and this is a Miata with a stock clutch, so it's not really a heavy clutch, but it does feel like as firm as it can be. So all in all, really happy with this. If you want to clean up your engine bay a little bit and get the best feeling clutch you possibly can, I would definitely recommend picking up this line from Chase Bays. I'll have the link in the description below. Pretty inexpensive and fairly easy to do, so definitely worth doing in my opinion. But that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, or if you found any of the other content on the channel helpful, make sure to leave a like and consider hitting the thanks button. Summer is fast approaching, and that means Miata events. Miata Reunion and Miatas at the Gap are going to be here before we know it. So the car is in pretty good shape right now, but there are a couple things I'm going to want to get done before then, so we're going to be documenting all that as we lead up to those events. Also, we've got Cole's Miata here back on the ground, getting ready to sell it. Doing a whole video series on that, like I mentioned before. So all of that and more coming very soon. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you in the next one.